And up next on Court 2 will be the number 1 singles match between Natalie Heffron and Juliet Stewart from CU. We're about set to get this number 1 singles match underway between Natalie Heffron and Juliet Stewart. Stewart just came away victorious in the number 1 doubles match on this court previously, and she'll be back to serve things up.
And her first serve is going to go off the net, so we're going to get a second serve out of her right now.
Natalie Heffron is a sophomore for the Rams out of Atlanta, Georgia. And that forehand's going to go into the net. First point going to Stewart and CU. Going to be interesting to see how Heffron handles the heavy shots that Stewart throws at you. She's got a big forehand to go along with that Wallitzer of a serve. Be interesting to see if she could kind of hang in there and counterpunch throughout this match.
And yet again, Stewart's serve goes into the net, so second serve coming up.
And just as we were mentioning in that first doubles match, it's going to be important for Heffron to take advantage of these second serves.
Oh, double fault. So Heffron's going to get a free point out of this.
Gotta love the freebies. Never a bad thing when you get those. Now we're at 15 all in this first one. It'd be really nice to see CSU try and jump out in front. Maybe get an early break here from Heffron to get the momentum swing in the right direction.
And that looked a little out on that one, so going to have another second serve coming up by Stewart.
Yeah, we saw Stewart really coming out, hitting that first serve well in the doubles match. Starting off in the singles match, so a little bit shaky on the first serve.
Oh, right when we say that, she goes up and serves up an ace right there, and now Stewart's up 30-15.
Yeah, that time she made me eat my words on that one. Comes out with a second serve ace. Don't see a lot of those happen in the game of tennis. Now she's back out in front, 30-15 in this service game.
And then now she serves it into the net, so we're kind of seeing mixed signals here from Stewart. 1 minute she's acing, next minute she's hitting the net.
Definitely a lot of inconsistencies right now. Maybe look to the toss to see if that's bothering her on her serve. She's not getting it, hitting her spots where she needs it to be.
Oh, and then again into the net, and so I believe that's a double fault. Yep, tied now at 30.
Yeah, that's the second double fault of this service game for Stewart. So both of Heffron's points coming off the freebies. See if she could step up, get a big return here, and get a chance at a break point.
Oh, good service there. But looks like they're going to call it a fault, so second serve coming up.
That time Stewart goes with the big kicker on the second serve, right above Heffron's shoulders, and she was unable to handle that one. 40-30 now in favor of Stewart, and she'll be serving for this opening game.
And again, she clips the net, so coming up with the second serve. Oh, after a good rally, Stewart hits the net, and we're tied at 40.
Yeah, gonna send that one to Deuce. Good backhand rally. A lot of loopy backhands from both players. Then Stewart tried to flat one out, take it up the line, and hit it right into the middle of the net. We see her walking around, taking her time now, trying to get things going on her serve. Heffron, good job of battling on the return side of things in this opening game of the singles match.
And yet again, Stewart drives her serve into the net.
That ball is going to be called long, and now Natalie Heffron with the chance here to capture an opening game break in this number 1 singles match. This would be huge for her and CSU to try and get back into this dual match against their rival, the CU Buffalo. Stewart has really been struggling with her first serve percentage. Still has a tough second serve, though. So Heffron's got to be ready.
Oh, man, looks like a good serve there, and just Heffron couldn't get the return right. It goes long, and now we're back to deuce.
It seems like every time we start to critique Stewart, she brings something back out. We were just pointing out that she's struggling with her first serve, and she's able to get one in there to win the point.
And then right after that, she serves it into the net again. So definitely some big inconsistencies here from Stewart. Let's see if that comeback's a honor.
And that ball's going to be called out. Stewart throwing a slice backhand that time in at Heffron. Something we have yet to see in this match or any of the matches at this point. And it really bothered Heffron as she hits her next shot long. It's be add Stewart now on her serve. That one goes way long. Going to be a second one coming up.
Ooh, and Heffron looks like just missed the line, so this is going to go game to Stewart.
Forehand sails long in the opening game does go to Juliet Stewart in this one. Number one singles match here on Court 2 at Miramont Fitness. And Stewart leading 1-0 on Heffron. 2 out of 3 sets here in the singles matchup. Definitely a very competitive first game. We saw a lot of inconsistencies with Stewart. It's always tough to kind of really dig yourself into a match when you have the server really going in and out with their serves, missing a few first serves, and then coming out with a few aces and big ones. Tough to really get in there. We'll see what Heffron does now as she'll be on the service side of things on the far side of the court.
Important thing to note, Steven, Heffron last season was a freshman, a true freshman, and she tied for 5th in CSU history with 21 wins. And it looks like her first serve might have been a little long, so second serve coming up.
And that backhand is flailed wide by Stewart, giving the point to Heffron. You could tell right away just by looking at it. Heffron definitely much more of a flat serve going at it. Stewart likes to throw in that kick, especially on the second serve. Heffron really likes to go flat with it on both the first and second serves. That one's going to catch the tape. We'll have a second serve coming up. I'm glad you mentioned Heffron's success last year as a freshman. 21 wins on the season. Pretty impressive stuff for a freshman. Second serve now for Heffron.
Looks like her forehand sailed out, so yep, we're going to be tied at 15 now.
That time, Heffron, nice job getting the serve in. Stewart put it right back in the middle of the court. Heffron going in for the approach and hit it just long. Trying to overhit that one a little bit. Too much pop, and it sails long on Heffron.
Ooh, and then her serve clips the top of the net, so second serve coming up for Heffron.
That one's going to be called long. It's going to be a double fault. And now it's CSU giving a freebie over to the Buffaloes. Heffron now serving at 15-30 in this second game. Trailing Stewart 1-0 right now in the opening set of this number one singles match.
And yet again, going for that approach and just knocks it clear out of the play area. So 40 up now for Stewart.
Unforced errors have been killer for the Rams in all of their matches today. See if they could try and tighten things up a little bit as things progress.
And right when you say that, Steven, another fault for Heffron.
That's going to be called a double fault as well, and Heffron's going to double fault the game away to Stewart, who now takes a 2-0 lead, getting the early break. And disappointing to see that. Natalie Heffron came out, played a really good first return game, sent it to a couple of deuces. Now she goes out on her own serves and kind of lays an egg, and now she's got to battle back in this opening set. As we see this first point on Stewart's next service game, Stewart hits the forehand out wide. We see her trying to overhit the ball as well. Heffron now with an early opportunity yet again on the return, up 15 love. see if she could take advantage this time of some of Stewart's errors.
Looks like they're going to call that a fault, so second serve coming up again for Stewart.
And big forehand that time by Stewart on the cross court. Looks like it's going to catch the line. Heffron did a good job of getting back to the return and hitting some nice backhands, but she left the ball short, and you do not want to do that against a player like Juliet Stewart because she's going to take advantage of that 8 times out of 10. And yet again, Heffron leaving a ball middle of the court short, not getting enough depth on the shot. Stewart stepping in and putting in a big-time forehand. Heffron unable to get it back. Anytime you leave the ball short on Stewart, she's going to be a player who's going to pounce on that real quick. So Heffron really has to work on her depth of her shots to try and keep Stewart out of the middle of the court.
All right, another service fault there. So seeing a lot of those today. And then, again, her Stewart serve clips the top of the net. So Heffron's going to get a break here. Double fault, and we're tied at 30.
Yeah, clips the tape and does not fall in the box for a double fault. And, you know, the alarming thing is for CSU is that even though the first serve percentages have been low for Stewart, she's still been able to have success with that big kicker on the second serve.
Oh, man. And, again, first serve percentage, as you said, Steven, she just missed another one.
And that was just a poor-looking return by Natalie Heffron on that one, giving game point now to Juliet Stewart from CU. A second serve. That one, once again, we saw the kick. Didn't quite get up as high on the shoulders as usual. Heffron even got hit the forehand on that one. Stewart's really been attacking the backhand side of Heffron, so she got a chance to hit the forehand and just flat-out missed it.
And yet again, another first service fault.
And there it is once again. Ball left a little bit short, not quite and get back to the baseline. And Stewart was able to step in and whack a big-time forehand inside out towards Heffron's backhand. And she's unable to get the ball back over the net. Now commanding 3-0 lead for Stewart and the Buffaloes in this number one singles match. And once again, the Rams finding themselves a little bit of trouble, Demo.
Yeah, and it's very surprising considering Stewart had a bunch of first shot faults there, first serve faults. And you know, you gotta, if you're Heffron, you gotta take advantage of those second serves, and you gotta play that return game like she did in the very first game of this set.
Oh, without question, Heffron has to be able to try and take advantage of those second serves and win some points off those, because when Stewart's getting that first serve in, it's usually really tough to get back and handle. We've seen her hit a few aces already today. Heffron, now it's really important for her, though, to try and get some sort of momentum going on her own serve and try and get on the scoreboard to apply a little bit of scoreboard pressure on Stewart in this match.
Yeah, we just, hopefully here we see some good service here. You saw Heffron in her first service set be a little inconsistent like Stewart, so hopefully she cleans that up a little bit and can get some points going.
And nice serve that time by Heffron, catching the line. Stewart hits the return long, and 15-0 lead early here for Natalie Heffron.
And that time the return's going to hit the net from Stewart, and Heffron all of a sudden jumps out to a 30-0 lead.
Hopefully she could hold on to this one. 2 first serves in on her first 2 serves of this game. Very important for her to get those in. Doesn't quite have the big second serve like Stewart does. And just as I say that, we're going to see a fault from Heffron and see a second serve coming.
Ooh, and then on the second serve, looks like she just put a little too much spin on that one, and now it's a double fault. Stewart on the board now. It's Heffron leads still, though, 30-15.
Yeah, disappointing second serve that time for Heffron, just giving a freebie to Stewart after she got 2 big first serves in to start the game off. Never want to make your opponent's first point a freebie. And that time we kind of saw Heffron reversing the roles on Stewart, really pushing Stewart back in the court, able to step into that forehand, put some pace on it, and Stewart unable to get it back. That's the kind of aggression you were talking about earlier in that doubles match. It'd be nice to see Heffron apply that to Stewart here in the singles match. Wow, and a great point by Stewart that time. Heffron clipping the tape. Stewart is able to get up there to the ball, get it back over, and then puts away the tough volley. Heffron, not much you could do but kind of clap your hands on that one for Juliet Stewart for making a good play, but still, game point for Heffron.
Oh, and then trying to smash it there, looks like Heffron just clips the top of the net, doesn't go over, so now here we go, deuce.
Got an elevated ball, trying to hammer it down with the forehand and just brought it right into the net. Couldn't get it over, and here's another deuce here on the serve for Heffron. That ball called long, going to be second one coming up now. You take a look at Stewart getting ready for the return. And
looks like after a good rally, it looks like Stewart was just able to handle the hit a little better, and now she's up on Heffron.
Heffron really has to try and keep that ball to the backhand side of Stewart, because when she gets a few attempts at the forehand and can really step into it, it's a pretty powerful weapon that she has over there in that right arm. And a disappointing break for Heffron as she hits the tape on that shot, and it's now 4-0 Stewart in this opening set of this singles match. And you can see the disgust on Heffron's face after she clipped the tape on that one. She's done a decent job of keeping the unforced error total low in this one, but cannot afford to keep handing over these free points to Stewart.
Right as you say that, it looked like, yep, Heffron just couldn't return that serve, sends it way out, and Stewart's already up 15-0.
Big serve that time from Stewart. Not much Heffron could have done. And that was just a poor looking backhand. You see Heffron kind of throw her hands out in disgust once again. Not quite moving her feet and getting in position properly, that one. And, that's one of the parts of tennis that I think people underestimate a lot out there is the footwork aspect of the game. Got to keep those feet constantly moving to get in proper position. And if you don't do that, it doesn't matter how strong you are hitting the tennis ball. If you don't get your feet in the proper position, you're not going to hit the ball in play. And that time, just getting the ball called long, and quick 40-0 lead for Stewart in this one. And she's starting to make quick work of Natalie Heffron in this opening set. Heffron really looking distraught out there now.
Oh, gets a little break there, though. Stewart gets serve again, hits the net, so second serve coming up.
And once again, just forehand going wide. And Heffron's going to go over and take a seat. Say Juliet Stewart giving a high five to her coach. Very impressive so far in the opening set. She is now one game away from capturing it. Up 5-0 on Natalie Heffron. Demo, what would you like to see from Heffron in the closing games of this opening set and as the match moves on to try and work herself back into it and make this a competitive match?
Well, as you said, Steven, she's got to target that backhand of Stewart because obviously Stewart's forehand is just dismantling her. So I'd like to see her go for that backhand a little more, and I'd also like to see her keep keep Stewart back in the back court more. So, like, not leave her in the middle of the court. Just nail it as far as you can and put Stewart deep so she can't hurt you.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about it earlier. The depth of the shots is extremely important for the CSU players in this one, trying to keep CU off the attack, trying to keep them hitting the ball behind the baseline. Whenever CU is able to step into the blue, Stewart in particular, they really start to do some damage to CSU. So it's going to be important. Always got to try and keep the consistency up. But I want to see some fight from Heffron here as she's down 0-5.
Ooh, and right at the gate, Heffron hits the top of the net. So second serve coming up.
And this time, ball's going to catch the tape for Stewart, making it 15-0. Once again, though, got a pretty clean look at the forehand. Got a good rip at it. Fortunately for Natalie Heffron, ball caught the tape. But definitely want to try and keep away from that vicious forehand of Stewart.
Oh, and it looked like Stewart just lobbed it over, and Heffron just was able to smash it and made Stewart pay. So quickly now, Heffron's up 30-0.
Yeah, that time we saw Heffron showing off her forehand and getting the point win. Shot's going to sail long for Natalie Heffron. Once again, Stewart pounding a forehand. Heffron really having trouble keeping the balls on the court when she gives Stewart's clean rips like that one. Still up 30-15 in this game. See how she handles it going forward. And once again, Stewart too good on the forehand as we see her give a fist pump. Even while she's on the move, she could still rip it, finding the corner on the cross-court shot there. Good rally. Heffron threw up some pretty good defensive shots demo, but in the end, the forehand of Stewart prevails.
You can see Heffron a little shaken up after that one. Hopefully she can bounce back.
Trying to catch her breath. And that time we saw Stewart, poor footwork, not quite moving to get to that ball on time, and she's going to go ahead and walk slowly up to the net. Both these players maybe trying to take a moment and catch their breath after some long rallies here in this service game for Heffron. She's now up 40-30, though, trying to serve for this game and get on the board in this match.
You can see Stewart there getting ready. Oh, but Heffron hits the net, and so second serve will be coming up.
Be interesting to see if Stewart decides to try and step around the backhand and try and hit a forehand on this return on the second serve coming from Heffron.
And it looks like Stewart's shot sailed wide. Yup, and so Heffron's going to take this one. So now it's Stewart up 5-1.
Yeah, that time Stewart just settling back, hitting the backhand return, hit it wide. Back on the service game now, though, where she's been pretty dominant in this match. Tough serve out wide, and Heffron's return's going to go into the net. 15-0, Stewart jumping on top. And right now, Heffron's definitely going through some big-time struggles in this opening set, trying to find anything that she could build on to get some sort of momentum going.
Oh, so Heffron's going to catch a break there. Stewart just drills that into the net.
And once again, Heffron unable to return. The big-time forehand coming from Stewart, placing it right in the back part of the court at Heffron's backhand. And Stewart's done a good job of really keeping Heffron off balance, controlling these points with that big-time forehand. Natalie Heffron needs to find something out quickly here to try and change things up.
She's going to get a quick moment to try to, as again, Stewart drills it into the net. Second serve coming up.
Pretty poor first serve percentage in this match for Stewart, and yet she is in complete control, up 5-1. There's going to be a double fault for Stewart. She's had a handful of those, but the thing is, it just really hasn't mattered that much because Heffron has been unable to take advantage of most of the second serve opportunities that she's had handed out to her. And a heck of a rally that time, and give Heffron some credit for sticking in there with Stewart, going punch for punch, and she's able to come out with the point as Stewart's final shot clips the tape and does not go over. Great point that time by Heffron. Probably the best point we've seen her play of the match, just from the fact that she went stroke for stroke with Stewart. A lot of consistency there. Big, long time rally. She comes out on top, now even at 30 all. Another first serve called out for Stewart. We'll see what Heffron does with this second serve. And Stewart yelling at herself now. And that time, you could tell right when she hit it, that ball was going to the net. Stood straight up, not bending her legs and moving her feet. And kind of going off what you mentioned earlier on in the match demo, maybe a little bit fatigued carrying over from that doubles match she played earlier on in the morning.
Yeah, we're seeing some signs. I mean, even after that long rally.
And then she answers with the cannon of a serve, going out wide for the ace. And that's going to go ahead and bring it to deuce. And the serve can be a big-time neutralizer in the game of tennis. We see Stewart starting to fatigue, starting to hit some unforced errors, but it doesn't matter because she comes right back with a big-time serve. And now that's back-to-back points where Stewart's able to win off of her serve. And it's just a weapon that we see the CU players having that CSU doesn't quite have in their arsenal yet.
Yeah, you can't even say it's the experience. These both are sophomores here.
Advantage to Stewart, trying to serve out this opening set.
That's going to clip the top of the net, so we're back to deuce.
Another double fault from Juliet Stewart. Kind of up and down with her service game so far, but she's been able to kind of void out some of those double faults by getting some aces and winning some free points off that big first serve. Ooh, and she goes and fluffs the spike attempt that time up at net. Stewart did a great job moving all the way up there and had an easy floater to put away, and she just completely mishit that one long. Advantage Natalie Heffron trying to keep herself alive in this opening set. See what happens here as Stewart's back to serve once again.
Ooh, I think that's a sign of frustration there, Steven, as she drills another serve into the net.
And after another long rally, Natalie Heffron comes away with the break. And just a great point that time, battling it out, hitting some shots off of her back foot, playing some good defense. Now 5-2, Heffron still alive in this one. She's won 2 consecutive games now. And maybe the momentum's starting to swing. We saw Stewart showing some fatigue signs, a little bit of frustration out there. We'll see if Heffron can really get things turned around as she'll come back and serve it on the near side of the court. Demo, it's been tough morning so far for the CSU Rams, but maybe Heffron comes out, gets a hold here, able to come back and make a game out of this opening set, and we could see things change around very quickly here.
Yeah, and you know what we're seeing too, Steven? We're seeing that zoning we were talking about. You see Heffron playing it deeper and deeper. You still see her playing the forehand, though, so I think if they're going to make this a game, Heffron's going to have to play that backhand while also zoning. You can see Heffron here, waiting, getting ready for her first serve.
Having a little bit of a delay here, but looks like we're going to get things going once again as we see Stewart coming back from her chair, back in their turn position and get things going. And right out of the box on this service game, Heffron plays a good point, drawing the error from Stewart, 15 love, and things are looking good right now for Natalie Heffron and CSU.
And it looks like it's going to be a fault on Heffron, so second serve coming up.
And there's another error from Stewart, and she's showing some frustration as she just flicks the ball over the net. This is definitely a time to pounce for Natalie Heffron. She's showing a lot more confidence out there. You could just tell by her body language that she's really into this match now and believes that she's got a shot. And return's going to go wide. 40 love now, Natalie Heffron. Chance to win her third straight game of this opening set. Dropped down in a 5-0 hole. And things are now looking good for Heffron. That serve's going to go long, but still 3 more opportunities to close out this game on her serve.
Ooh, she's going to hit the net, though, on that one. Double fault, and now Stewart's on the board.
Bad timing for that double fault to come. All the momentum on Heffron's side. And hope that she's able to close this one out. Don't want to see Stewart really try and change the tide back in her favor after getting a freebie. Sometimes something like that can be the spark of something happening. We'll see how Heffron responds on this serve.
And they're going to call that one a little long as well. So here we go. 3 straight faults on Heffron.
And that's going to go long as Stewart swings her racket in frustration. Really going for a big-time forehand that time and could not get it to catch the line. Heffron takes it, and she has now closed the gap to 5-3 in this number 1 singles match opening set. And Dema, we got ourselves a match here, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. Here we go.
Wow, and a frozen rope that time from Natalie Heffron just freezes Stewart right off the serve.
And you could tell Stewart there looked a little frustrated after her serve. I think Heffron's in her head.
Big time shot that time from Natalie Heffron. By far the biggest forehand we've seen her hit today. Ooh, and that time tricky play. Stewart's overhead clips the tape. Heffron kind of having to play off the delay there. Unable to get her shot over the net. 15 all now. Stewart back to serve once again for the Buffaloes. And that was just a ridiculous forehand by Stewart. Didn't even really move her feet, just kind of the buggy whip forehand, and still was able to generate enough pace that Natalie Heffron was unable to get there to put it back in play. Stewart now up on top 30-15. And now we might see Heffron starting to unravel a little bit as that forehand was nowhere close. 40-15 lead for Stewart, and she'll be serving for this opening set right here. And Heffron still clinging to life here in the opening set as that ball goes into the net off of Stewart's racket. Stewart hustling off the court to get back in there. Heffron, though, did a great job keeping the ball in play and staying alive right now on this service game. Still set point for Juliet Stewart. And that ball doesn't quite catch the line, and that's going to be the opening set. Give it to Stewart, capturing it 6-3. Heffron did a good job of battling back from 5-0 down, but kind of too big of a hole to come back from their demo. And I think that last point just kind of illustrated the strength of Juliet Stewart. Big-time serve and hitting that big-time forehand. Heffron just hasn't quite been able to contend with that thus far.
And no, and it's clearly a big problem for the CSU Rams is the power that these buffs are showing.
See if Heffron can get things going in a different direction here in the second set. That first serve is going to be called wide for a fault. And looks like point's going to go to Juliet Stewart on this one. Ball being called out on Heffron's shot. And she's now in an early hole at love 15.
And again, Heffron, another fault. So second serve coming up.
Ball jumping up on Heffron that time. Didn't quite get the top spin she needed to keep that ball in play. Just really hit a flat shot and it sailed well long. Now a love 30 start to this opening service game of the second set. Not the way Heffron wanted to get things going in this second set demo.
No, not at all. And now you've got to think about it. She's given up 3 straight points to Stewart after that last game. Ooh, good ace there, though, by Heffron to get back in it.
Good response. She doesn't quite have the firepower that Stewart does on that first serve, but it can be effective if she hits her spots. As shown right there that time, Stewart just fluffing one back into the net, and we're evened things up now at 30 all.
Ooh, but after 2 effective first serves, Heffron's going to get a fault there as she drives it into the net.
Look for Stewart to step in and try and smack a forehand here. She's been really trying to be aggressive this entire match moving into the blue. And there it is once again, stepping in and just crushing another forehand towards the backhand side. Heffron not even going to be able to give chase to that one. Too good off the forehand side for Juliet Stewart, and she's got an early chance to break in the second set.
Ooh, but after a pretty good serve, it looks like Stewart just didn't get her footing right and just smashes the ball out.
That's going to bring it to deuce now in the opening service game of the second set. Wow, and that time Stewart showing the firepower off the backhand side. Someone she could do it off both wings. And Heffron, we know, is really just trying to counterpunch in this match. Just has to try and throw different things at Stewart. But when Stewart is hitting her backhand like that, you really have no chance against her.
Quick timeout, get a ball off the court. And then right after the timeout, it looks like a fault by Heffron.
Opportunity for Stewart yet again to pounce on a second serve coming from Natalie Heffron. See what she can do with this second serve at a crucial point in the second set.
Looks like Stewart's shot just sailed out back to deuces.
Stewart went conservative on that return, just trying to play, maybe draw an air out from Heffron, but Heffron wasn't having it. And back to deuce we are. And that is just too good of a point from Juliet Stewart, pulling Heffron off the court with the forehand and then stepping in, going with the cross-court backhand to put it away. And she's starting to heat up off both wings now here for CU.
And yet again, another fault by Heffron. Maybe she's getting a little fatigued too out there.
Second serve coming, advantage to Stewart. And a poor shot that time by Stewart. She had Heffron on the move, kind of setting up the point exactly how she wanted to, and just kind of dumped that one in the net. Natalie Heffron breathing a little bit heavy here. Stewart starting to run around the court. Back to deuce now, though. Heffron needs a big first serve here, though. And she gets one as Stewart smacks her racket against her heel. Heffron just kind of going right at the body that time. Not really going for the tee or outside wide for the lines and aces like Stewart. Just kind of going right into the body, and it's being effective right now for Natalie Heffron.
Right there, though, serves a little long, so second serve coming up by Heffron.
That ball's going to sail long on Natalie, and she's kind of kicking herself over there for not getting her feet in position. And that one's going to sail, bringing things back to deuce now. Neither one of these players able to shut the door in this service game. Looks like a little disagreement on the call. It's going to go to Heffron. Juliet Stewart not happy with the call, talking things over with the line judge. Is not going to get him to change his mind, though, here. And she looks a little bit upset with the call. And Heffron, big time opportunity here to try and close out this service game.
But you see right there, first serve just clips the net. So second serve coming up again for Heffron.
And game's going to go to Natalie Heffron as Stewart sends the forehand long. And Heffron gets the first game of this second set, taking a 1-0 lead. Be nice to see how she's able to respond on the return game here. We talked about it in that first set demo. Stewart's first serve percentage was really pretty awful. She was just able to take advantage with a few aces there and use that big second serve with the kick to be able to get in control of points. What do you think Heffron might try to do, adjusting in maybe court positioning or something on the serves to try and get the break here on Stewart, who has struggled with her first serve percentage?
I think Heffron should just aim to get the ball pretty deep. Either put it deep or get it to her backhand, because even though we've seen her smash it today with her backhand, it's still pretty apparent that her forehand is what her game is.
Oh, without question. Want to try and give it to Stewart's backhand. Maybe even the strategy might be to hit a cross-court shot to the forehand to pull her out wide, where then you can attack that backhand. Kind of see what Heffron decides to implement here on the return game.
And all of a sudden, Heffron is on fire. She gets the first point in this one as well, Steven.
Yeah, a little bit of a different shot that time. Really went short with it on the cross court. Really made Stewart run up and hit that one. Wasn't quite ready for it, and she sailed it long. Just trying to throw some different looks at Stewart now as we see a first service fault from Juliet. Have a second serve coming up. Return sails long on Heffron, and I mean, we mentioned it. Another second serve from Stewart, but pretty effective getting the kick. Heffron really having to hit that ball off balance, unable to keep it in the court. It's now 15-all.
There, the serve looked a little wide, so here we go. Second serve yet again by Stewart.
long rally that time, and Stewart's forehand's going to sail long. And points going to go to Natalie Heffron, 15-30 now. And, you know, it's been interesting to watch throughout this match. Heffron playing a lot of her balls to the middle of the court. We've seen Stewart really trying to swing Heffron side to side, get her running a little bit. Heffron trying to play percentage tennis right now and keep it in the middle of the court.
And yet again, Stewart's serve goes off the top of the net. Oh, double fault by Stewart, and all of a sudden Heffron is up 40-15.
Stewart cannot believe that one. Chance to break now, Natalie Heffron. 2 break points here for Natalie Heffron to get out to a good start here in this second set. Too much power that time on Stewart's forehand. Heffron did a great job running around, playing defense, lofting back some backhands there. But once again, Stewart able to step in near the service line and really hammer home a forehand. Heffron got a racket on it, but could not get it over the net. Still, though, another break point opportunity for Natalie Heffron.
Oh.
And that's disappointing as her ball goes into the net off the serve. You know she wants that one back, Demo.
Oh, big time. She had a great opportunity there and just let it slip through her fingers.
Game goes to deuce now. And there it is again. Just too good off the racket of Juliette Stewart. Going to be advantage her on this one, and just really working that forehand, get the cross court one, stepping in, taking it right at us there at the camera. Heffron, big trouble now if Stewart keeps that forehand going. And the slice is going to go wide, and after 2 opportunities for a break, Natalie Heffron lets the opportunity slip between her fingers, and we are all knotted up at 1 game apiece here in the second set. Opening set was captured by Juliette Stewart of CU, leading this match 1-0.
Yeah, it looks like Heffron's serve was a little long, so second serve coming up.
Gonna be a double fault from Natalie Heffron, and things not going in the right direction right now for Natalie, needing to try and pull whatever tennis she has left on the court and kind of throw it at Stewart right now because it's trouble time on her serve. And that right there is what she needs to do. Is we see Heffron paint the line that time on the cross-court forehand, evening things up at 15-all now. One of the first times we really saw her gear up and really smack the forehand there, Demo.
Oh, but right after the smash, she has a pretty good serve, but just Stewart just again demonstrating why she's a good tennis player over at CU.
Such a tough return, keeping it deep. Heffron unable to get it back into play. And right there we see her get a point right back, though. Stewart sails one long, and we're now knotted up at 30-all.
See her hit her racket off her heel again. Ooh, Heffron blew a good opportunity there. You could see Stewart was a little flustered after that last hit, and so Heffron should have took advantage. Instead, she's got a second serve coming up.
And a poor return that time from Stewart as it bounces into the net. Game point opportunity here for Natalie Heffron. I think it's really important that she closes out this service game. Really wants to get these holds early on in this set. Always important to try and go out there and get a break. But she struggled in the first set, holding on her serve early on. Going to try and get things going differently here in the second set. We'll see another second serve coming up for Natalie.
Ooh, but Heffron's return sails out, so now we're back to deuce.
Yeah, she did not like the way that one looked right off the racket. You could tell that she was disappointed and knew that it was going long. Crunch time now for Natalie Heffron here on the serve, serving at deuce. Ooh, that one clips the tape. Unfortunate luck that time for Heffron, and she's going to take a moment now as she's going to serve at add out. Break point chance now for Juliet Stewart.
Oh, and again, another first service error. This time clips the tape and goes clear out. So second serve again coming up for Heffron.
Oh, and that one's really disappointing. Stewart playing the really slow floating slice forehand, and Heffron unable to really generate the pace she wanted to get the ball over the net. Tough break from Natalie Heffron. Stewart's going to jump out to a 2-1 lead now. Be her serve coming back out onto the court. Disappointing game that time for Heffron. She had a chance to close it out, went to deuce, and lost it. And, you know, you often see that happen in tennis. Heffron had 2 break point opportunities on Stewart's first service game of this second set. Could not capitalize. And then she comes out and gets broken herself, Demo.
Yeah, and you could tell Heffron is getting frustrated. You saw it earlier with Stewart where she was frustrated in that first set. Now it's all of a sudden Heffron is getting frustrated herself. You can see her smashing the balls over there against the wall for Stewart to get when it's her turn to serve. So Heffron's got to calm down a little. She's got to take a breath, get some Gatorade, get some water in there, and just relax and remember that this is only a 2-1 game.
Definitely still in it and still early here in the second set. She did fall in the opening set of this one by a score of 6-3. Now trailing 2-1 to Stewart here in the second set of this number 1 singles match. Dual match between the CSU Rams and their rival, the CU Buffaloes. And that serve's going to go into the net for fault number 1. Trying to rope that one, but missing just wide was Stewart, giving the point to Heffron, but still don't like the way the point looked for Heffron. Stewart's going to hit that shot most of the time. She had a good clean look at it. Heffron was able to come away with the point on that one, but definitely would not want to see the rest of the points go that way because it probably mean good things for Stewart and the Buffaloes rather than Heffron and the Rams.
Ooh, and again, Stewart, a first service error. So second serve's coming up, and she looks a little flustered about that one.
This time, ball is going to be hit out wide by Stewart. And once again, Natalie Heffron with a chance to break on Juliet Stewart's serve. Just 2 points away from getting the break. Love 30 hole for Juliet Stewart. This time we'll see if Heffron can close the door and even this match back up.
Oh, but after a good serve by Stewart, Heffron just can't return it. Her return goes straight into the net, and now it's 30-15.
It seems like that last point has just kind of been showing how this entire day has gone for the Rams. Any opportunities they have had, CU has been right there to squash them. And that's going to be a clean winner off the forehand side yet again for Juliet Stewart. Anytime she gets to hit that forehand from that close into the court, you can pretty much tally up a point for Stewart and the Buffaloes. And she evens things up at 30 all now. Still Heffron just 2 points away from getting a break, though.
Heffron's shot sails out, and all of a sudden Stewart's up 40-30 with the chance to take this game.
Game point for Stewart, and you see her sigh a breath of relief there, knowing that she was in a hole. Been 3 straight points now, though, for Stewart. She's trying to serve out this game.
Oh, and she's going to get that serve off, and all of a sudden it's 3-1 Stewart.
Just Heffron throwing the racket out there, unable to get it over, and frustration really starting to set in now for Heffron. 2 great opportunities in the first 2 service games of Stewart to get a break, and unable to do so. Now trailing 1-3 in this second set. And this is trouble time yet again for Natalie Heffron. Needs to get a hold here.
Looks like they're going to stop play to get the ball off the court. So reserve coming up for Heffron.
Gonna be a first serve.
Oh, but on that first serve, drills it right into the net.
And a double fault for Natalie Heffron, and that is disappointing. Got the first initial serve in, and is actually in control of the point before the ball came on the court, letting them do a redo, and Heffron comes right back out and gets 2 faults for the double fault. Really disappointing there. And it's going to be the 3rd fault in a row, and things starting to unravel a little bit for Natalie Heffron. We'll see if she can try and pull it together.
Oh, another double fault, Steven, and all of a sudden Stewart is just in control of this match without doing anything.
Yeah, kind of just a quick momentum shift there. Within this game in particular, Heffron was in control of that first point, and now since the redo, it's been 2 straight double faults, and
now
yet
5th
again,
straight fault.
Cannot get that first serve in. And that is just too good from Stewart, taking the backhand up the line. Heffron now down love 40 on her serve. And big time trouble now. Cannot afford to fall down. Another break in this second set.
Ooh, and another service error. That one goes clear off the top of the net.
And that was a nice shot that time by Heffron, really stepping in, free swinging on that forehand. Stewart hits it into the net, and that's pretty much what we got to see Heffron do from here on out for this rest of the match. She's already down 1-0, down a break, about to be 2 in this second set. Really just needs to go out there and leave everything on the court, hold nothing back.
That was a pretty good serve there by Heffron, and all of a sudden it's only 30-40 now.
That one did manage to catch the line, and we see Juliet Stewart throwing facial expression there. She's trying to make sure she's able to get the break here. Doesn't want Heffron to come back and get any sort
of momentum, but right when we say that, another service error by Heffron, and all of a sudden it's hard to determine who's this game going to.
And that's a big time forehand from Stewart, and she gives the fist bump as that's going to close out the game, give her the second break of this second set, going up 4-1 now. And the thing I want to mention on that last point, Demo, is Stewart just does a great job of transitioning from defense to offense on tennis. She's been doing it a lot better as we take a look as her teammates there on the sidelines for CU. Take a look at some of the fans out in the crowd here in attendance. A record crowd here today, just ton of people coming out for the Orange Out, free admission. Always great to see people in the community, as well as friends and family coming out to support your team. But going back to the point that I was going to make before we got there to the crowd is just the ability to transition from being so far back in the court and then being able to step in and go on the offensive. has really been crucial for CU in this one. It's been really detrimental to the Rams. Just take a look at some of Heffron's teammates here on the side watching on.
Yeah, and some of the crowd, record-setting crowd. And, yeah, we got to see Heffron step up a little here. I know she's a little flustered. I mean, that ball really coming on the court was really what killed her momentum last game.
See how she responds now, dropping those 2 breaks and being down 4-1. First point is going to go to Natalie Heffron off the arrow by Stewart. It's going to be important now for Heffron to just keep battling, want to go out swinging, and just throw everything you got at Stewart, see what happens.
Oh, Stewart. Again, another first service error, so here we go, second serve.
And Stewart moving in on the approach, just whipping that forehand out wide. Heffron able to get a racket on it, unable to keep it in play though. She knew Stewart was approaching into the net, had to try and do something to hit a pass. Ended up going over Stewart's head, but could not keep that one in play. Going to be 15-all now. That ball's going to go long. Heffron playing a nice point there. Definitely still battling back in this match. Not giving up yet. 30-15 now. Once again, she's been in this same spot twice already this set, being just 2 points away from getting a break. See if she can finally get over the hump and get the break here.
See Stewart getting ready for her first serve. Oh, right into the net. So a second serve coming up for Stewart.
Seen that all day long. And Heffron's going to sail that one line, bringing it back to 30-all now. And, you know, we saw the last point before that, Stewart throwing in the slice backhand. It'd be interesting to see if we see Heffron try anything like that. Stewart's just such a consistent player, but kind of really goes off the motion, set-up player. Haven't seen Heffron try and throw different looks to try and throw off her timing at all. Maybe some slice backhands, play some really short shots. Heffron really just trying to play the ball to the middle of the court, which is her strength, and you got to give her that. But maybe time to try and throw something out to get this match turned around just a little bit here.
And it looks like Heffron's shot sails wide, and it is 40-30 Stewart. I agree with you, Steven. I would love to see Heffron throw some slice out there, throw something to throw Stewart off her game. I know she's an amazing tennis player, but you just got to figure something out to throw her off her game.
And we see the look on Natalie Heffron's face there, just definitely disappointed with the way she's come out in this match, especially this second set, dropping herself in another big hole.
Gets a little bit of a break there, though. Service error again by Stewart, but again, we've seen these second serves be pretty vicious.
Watch to see how high this ball jumps up above Heffron's shoulders. That one didn't quite get up as high. Heffron able to take it early, but hits it in the net anyway. And that's going to be game Stewart. 5-1 now, just one game away from closing out this #1 singles match. So far, it's been all Stewart and the Buffaloes demo. Heffron right now going back to serve, just trying to keep things going as long as possible.
So Heffron, after a good serve, Stewart returned into the net, and now Heffron's up 15-0.
Once again, first set went to Stewart 6-3, and she's up 5-1 right now in the second. Heffron trying to keep this match going. And Stewart does a little Funky move there. Disappointed with herself, hitting the ball in the net. You can tell she wants to close it out right now. Does not want to give Heffron any hope or chance to come back in this one. Heffron, though, got to keep that belief. There's been crazier things to happen in sports, so you're not out of it until it's over.
Oh, but Stewart again showing the power and just making Heffron run over there just to even get a chance to return that. And Heffron just sends it at the bottom of the net. So 30-15 though, Heffron's still up.
Definitely that right arm of Stewart has been the devastating factor in this match on both the serve and forehand.
Oh, and then Heffron right after goes and drills her serve into the net.
40, 15.
Then Stewart just all of a sudden just returns it into the net. Didn't look like she put much in that one.
Kind of lack of focus there from Stewart. Not quite sure where her head's at right now. She was pretty disappointed losing those first few points of this game, wanting to close this thing out now. And Heffron now the chance to capture this game on her serve.
Oh, but again, right into the net, and now a second serve coming up. And these have been pretty costly for CSU today, so we'll see how Stewart reacts.
And Heffron doesn't have the same second serve that Stewart has, so it's definitely more important for her to try and get those first serves in and keep that percentage up high. And that's going to be a smash put away by Stewart, setting things up with the forehand, moving in and putting it away. Heffron did all she could just to get the ball back, but once again, she's just been pushed back in the court deeper and deeper, and that's not a good sign if you're a CSU Ram fan.
Oh, and again, Heffron into the net. It's looked like every time it's been in the net, it's been around in the same place, Steven. You can see Heffron showing signs of frustration as she walks back.
And point's going to go to Stewart. And we see Heffron kind of kicking at herself there. We're going to go to a deuce on this service game. And Stewart just really controlling the point, moving Heffron wherever she wants to. Heffron's done a decent job of just trying to get the ball back in play and deep enough. But when Stewart gets to step in, it's pretty much game over. That's going to be a fault on the first serve from Heffron. Second serve awaiting now. And that's going to be a double fault at a crucial point in the match. And this is going to make it match point for Juliet Stewart of CU. And that's going to do it, folks. Stewart taking the backhand up the line. And she captures this #1 singles match. 6-3, 6-1 over Natalie Heffron. And you can see there Heffron really disappointed with her performance in this first dual match of the spring for the Rams. Demo, it was a tough first match for CSU. Hopefully we can see this team show some improvement as the season moves forward. The Colorado State women's tennis team thanks all of its supporters and fans. The team also wishes to thank Marymount South Lifestyle Fitness for all of its support and use of this facility.